In this video, you will learn the following new skills: applying a selection filter, using toggle filter, and using cut, copy, and paste. So first of all, I've already created the top tours table, which you'll have to create also. And I strongly encourage you, when you're typing in a bunch of numbers like this, I know it can be a real pain, but if you have a keyboard that has the number keypad to the right, make yourself use that. It'll be easier to enter the numbers. Your index finger goes on the 4, the middle finger goes on the 5, and your ring finger goes on the 6. And then they just reach up and down. Practice using that. You'll be thankful if you really master that. It makes things go a little bit quicker. So right now, I've already done the Top Tours database and set it all up as instructed. And, just a quick review here. If you ever want to make changes to a field, go to Design View, which is here, because you're going to be asked to change the format for these two number fields. Right down here, Format, here's where you pick Standard. You can click the down arrow, and you can see Standard. And then you can say decimal places, and if you click the down arrow, you can specify however many. So there you can change the field properties right down here. Also for the lookup wizard, that's right here too, if you're wanting to set it up using Design View. So anyway, for this table, we're going to go back to Datasheet View. They want us to retrieve the data. We want to create a selection filter showing tickets sold. The tickets sold amounts that are greater than or equal to 258,787. Well, you're going to do that on your own. I'm going to do the gross in millions of dollars, and I'm going to go with showing only those that are 26.9 and higher. Okay, so here's how you can do a filter. The Home tab, I go to Advanced because you have more control that way. And then I'm going to do an advanced filter. And here, down here, I'm going to pick, and I'm doing mine on the millions, gross in millions. And then you could tell it to sort if you want to also here. We're not being asked to sort, so that's okay. But here for the criteria, I'm going to say actually less than or equal to 26.9. Okay, and then I'm going to, after I have that criteria in place, that's the only criteria I need, I'm going to do toggle filter. And now you can see it's 26.9 million and lower. That's all that's showing. Okay, so that's how you apply the filter. And to toggle it, you click here, toggle filter. That brings them all back. And when you toggle filter again, it only shows what the filter's asking it to show. Okay, let's say you want to get rid of the filter. Okay, advanced, right here, clear off. And by the way, you can tell there's a filter because right here, you can see the filter. So when you turn it off, the filter goes away. But when you turn it on, you can see that it's there. So if you ever want to get rid of it, you can just say clear all filters. So that's how you make a filter, toggle a filter, and how you can get rid of a filter. The next thing I'm going to show you is cut, copy, and paste. And let's say we want to, for whatever reason, we want to copy the first record. So I'm just going to point here on the gray box to the right, and I'm going to say copy. And then I'm going to paste it 3 times. So I'm going to Control V. Control V. Okay, it's not doing it. So I'm going to come down here where it says new, and I'm going to do Control V. Okay, how about we click here for new and do Control V. There we go. And then we can click here again and Control V. So you have to have the entire record selected to paste the new one in. And if you're going to add, you have to put them at the end. So that's how you copy and paste one record at a time. And so we're going to cut. Here's how you cut. I'm going to cut these two the same time, select them, and I'm going to point at my selection and hit the right mouse button. Oops, that doesn't work, I guess. Maybe if I come over here and I hit the right mouse button. Nope, it can only do one record at a time. Delete record, you get a warning. Yes, I'm sure I want to do that because you can't get it back. If I do undo, it doesn't bring it back. Okay, it just did the resort, the toggle filter. And then I have to tell it clear all filters again. So when you delete a record, it's gone permanently. You can't get it back. So that's why it gives you the error message. So that's how you cut, copy, and paste records also. Okay, I'm now going to show you how to change the primary key. Okay, so I set up my database, but I need to change, instead of having the default, I'm going to go to design view to do this. Instead of having the default primary key right here be the ID field, that's the auto number, that's there automatically. We can click here, and I want the customer code to be the primary key, so I'm going to click here, and then Table Tools Design. And I'm just simply going to click primary key. And now it moves the key down. Okay, and here's how you can connect tables. You've done this in a previous exercise, but I've already created my customers table here. And now in design view, I'm creating my second table. And I want my first field name to be customer code. And this is going to be a lookup wizard. And I'm going to use a previous table. Okay, so I'm going to choose the first option, next, and it's the customers table, next. And I want to use the code and the last name to be in there, next. And then do I want to sort? Yes, I want to sort on the last name in ascending order. Okay, so I'm going to make sure it says ascending. And then next, and then we can adjust the column width here. Let's make it a little bit wider so we can see the whole name there. And you can see it's the last names that we're picking from. Say, oh, it says hide key column. We want to be sure to reveal the key column right here, the customer code, and next. And then we want to enable data integrity. Let's see where that's. I don't think we've come across that one yet. So next, when you select a row in the lookup field, you can sort a value from that row in your database, or you can use the value later to perform an action. Choose a field that uniquely identifies the row. Which column in your lookup field contains the value you want to store or use in your database? We want the customer code to show up, so we're just going to leave customer code and next, and we need to enable data integrity, and we want to choose cascade delete, I believe. Let's check this out. And do you want multiple values? I think this is what we need. So I'm going to click finish. We'll see how this turns out. Okay, yes. And this one's named phone numbers. Let's see how this goes. No primary key. Do you want to create a primary key? Yes. Okay, so we'll say, oh, it was not created. So we'll say, okay, that's fine. Let's make this be our customer key, our key. So Table Tools Design, primary key, and now let's delete this field. And let's see what we have so far for this. I'm going to go to Datasheet View. Yes. And okay, it is still there. It did make it, so we're good. So I'm going to go back to Design View. So we have customer code, and then now we need phone number. And this is going to be a short text with an input mask. So I'm going to click here, short text. Down here is input mask, and I'm going to choose so that it's got the parentheses and then the hyphen already in there. Open. Yes, we'll save it. Okay, and I want this format here, so next, and that's all good. We can try it here. You can see that's what it's going to come up with. That's what we want. Next. How do you want to store the data? With the symbols. We can store it with the symbols. and then next, and then finish. And then we're going to use Lookup Wizard for type. So under phone number is type. And this is, again, is going to be a lookup. And we're going to type in, I will type in the values I want. And the first one is home phone. Go down one, then it's business phone, and then cell phone. And next. And we need to limit it to the list. That's all that is specified for that. And then finish. And then I'm going to save. And now I'm going to go to design view. And I'm actually going to close the customers table. And now I need to enter the data for phone numbers. So I'm going to come over to figure 19B. And okay, it is showing customer. There is an ID. All right, so I need to go back to design view. And I'm going to do insert row. And I'm going to make this row be the primary key. It won't let me do it because there's nothing there, but we know this one's always called ID, right? And we need this to be auto number because that's what it is automatically. And then now we'll make it be primary key. Okay, now we're going to go design data sheet view. And now we have the ID there. And now I'm going to actually select I'm going to make these columns bigger so we can see all of the column names. Okay, customer code. For the first one, we're going to use a drop-down list and choose ANJ. And then the phone number is 605-545-2902. And this is for type, I'm just going to type H. And it brings up home, and I'm going to hit enter. And now I'm going to select the whole table, and I'm going to double click so that we can see all of everything. Okay, now I need to go back because is this supposed to be showing the last name? So on instruction 15, choose the customer's table and display all fields sorted by the customer last name in ascending order. Be sure to reveal the key column and to enable data integrity. Note, this will create a lookup wizard that displays the customer code and customer last name. When you choose a record, only the code will be entered into the table. Okay, well, that's interesting. So then you just keep going through ANJ and entering the data. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to adjust relationships so that when you update one table in a database, all the other tables can update also. So we need to edit the relationship of the customers and the phone numbers tables to cascade update related fields. So I'm going to go to Database Tools and click Relationships. There isn't any right now. So I am going to do Show Tables. And I'm going to show the customer table. And I'm going to show the phone numbers table. And mine already has a relationship here, but in case you don't, you can click the line, or what you can do is click, actually I'm going to do, let's see, Edit Relationship, click Edit Relationship. And then up here, you're going to want to choose the customers table. And for the customers table, you want to choose customer code. And then you're also going to choose the phone numbers table and the customer code as well. Okay. And then you can do create new. Okay. I think that's where you have, yeah, that's where you do this. You'll do create new. Left table is customers, left column name is customer code, right table is phone numbers, right column is customer code. Okay. I've already done that. That's why mine popped up. So then when you create the new one, here it is. And we need to enforce referential integrity. And we need to cascade update related fields. And then click OK. And then now I'm going to close. you want to save it? Yes. And then now we need to go to edit the relationship. We already did that. Open the customers table. And then we need to change Jane Miller to MIJ1. So here's Jane, MIJ, and just add a 1. And then we need to add a new record, MIJ2. And that's for John Miller. And then we're going to save the table, Control S, open the phone numbers table. And now you can see everything that was related to Jane is now MJ1. I don't see Mr. Miller's record appearing. Just do Control S. And then, so that's how you do that. I'm not unsure of why we need to, we probably need to enter his over here. That's the problem. For customers, we did MJ. MIJ2. Oh, and we would need to enter his number. That's why we don't have a number for him. So Control Z, Control Z. Okay, and we're done.